Welcome back to Mountain Connections. I'm here with Dr. Ben Belnap. He's Associate Superintendent of Student Wellness here at Park City Schools. And today we want to focus on the holidays and how that can be difficult for some people. And so thankful that Dr. Belnap is here live in studio. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is great.
Yeah, I'm very impressed that the Park City School District has an Associate Superintendent of Student Wellness. I think this is very unique, but very essential for today's society and what the youth are facing.
Yeah, absolutely. And really it is a real luxury that we have here in Park City School District that is really uncommon in other school districts in the state, which is great. Our school board and our community, they see student wellness as a priority. You know, ultimately, we want our students to learn. We want them to be engaged academically. But if we're not meeting their needs, if they have specific unique needs behaviorally, socially, emotionally, it's really difficult to show up to school and learn.
So as Associate Superintendent of Student Wellness,
it's a mouthful, isn't it?
It really is, but how are you helping students? You're a little bit removed just because you are a superintendent. So how are you getting into the schools and helping the counselors and finding out what the students need?
Yeah, you know, it's a great question because, and it's funny because that is, being a little bit removed has been kind of a tough step for me because I've always been on the front lines, you know, working directly with kids. And what I do, I just do a lot of coordinating, and luckily we have absolutely amazing staff. And again, our ratios in this school district as far as like to support mental health needs of our students is leaps and bounds above other school districts. So there are a lot of different issues that come up that we need to manage with our counselors. You know, there's a lot of what do we do in this sort of a situation, and more from an administrative perspective that we have to kind of work out and team out. And our social workers managing that piece. And when I say managing them, I mean these people are really wonderful at what they do, but it's more kind of at a systemic level, making sure that we are being the most as efficient as we can possibly be, the way we're using our people and the way we're meeting people's needs, and really coordinating with the community to get resources for our students who need them. We've got our outreach liaisons who reach out to our community members in need. We supervise them and make sure that, you know, we do really great things for them. We make sure that they have coats, their students have coats, that they have wireless, Wi-Fi at their homes, that kind of stuff, so they can, you know, be able to access education the same that everybody else, that the other kids can in the district. So it's a lot of kind of higher level coordinating stuff, and it's actually really phenomenal when you have a great staff to work with.
Well, it's nice to hear that you're supporting the counselors, the social workers, the teachers. They are not feeling alone like an island, like, oh, there's this big problem. How can I help this student? But you're all working together to make a difference. And I think we're really seeing a difference in the schools.
I certainly hope so, and I agree. I think, you know, this maybe when I was in school or when you were in school, there's this idea that a teacher is in front of the students and the teachers teach, and other people do other things. And that's a tough job as it is. We now expect so much more of our teachers, and our teachers here at Park City, they rise to the occasion. They recognize the need to connect, and it is so cool to be in these meetings with teachers, and they're talking about a student who, you know, is maybe struggling with their behavior in class or something. And, you know, way back when it would be, how are we going to shape this kid, and how are we going to whip them into shape so they can behave themselves? The conversations our teachers are having now are things like, what does this student need? How can I connect with this student so they feel a connection and a motivation to learn? And it's just really cool to see the evolution of education. And I mean, heck, if my teachers had done that, who knows where I'd be today, you know?
I'm so grateful of the shift and grateful that Park City is really setting an example by putting money behind student wellness, by hiring you and also supporting all these other individuals. But let's shift gears just a little bit, and you know, we're heading quickly into the holiday season. People are already playing Christmas carols.
Crazy.
The stores are wall-to-wall Christmas. It happens earlier every single year, which is wonderful for some people. Some people are here for it. But there's other kids and youth and adults as well who really struggle, who get really triggered by the holidays, and it can be a really hard time.
Yeah, it really can, and it's kind of a paradox. It's not, you know, I remember the first time I learned about this was in one of my psych classes in college, and I thought, that makes no sense at all. This is a happy time. But it really, it really can be tough for a lot of people to get those kind of holiday blues, or especially if we already have some underlying depression, it can really accentuate those symptoms. And it really can come from a lot of different things, and everybody's, different. But it can come from, feeling lonely. You see a lot of people out together, and if I don't have, especially like Park City, there are a lot more kind of transplants in Park City than there are in other parts of the state. And so while people are getting together with family and extended family, sometimes we can feel a little isolated if I got family in Connecticut and California or whatever. So that loneliness can sometimes really trigger those things. And it's just really important to get out. Sometimes when we're feeling kind of lonely, we want to just isolate, and we need to make ourselves get out there. And stick to a routine. That's one thing I really recommend, not necessarily related to loneliness, but for parents around this time. We lose that sort of structure that we have when you're out of school for 2 weeks or an extended weekend or whatever over Thanksgiving. Maintain some sort of a semblance of structure. Let's not let our kids sleep in till 11:30 or noon, right? Like, let's make sure they can get up. I mean, maybe let them sleep in a little bit, but let's keep some semblance of structure for them, keep them going. If we're feeling isolated, the last thing what we want to do is we want to isolate even more. That's the worst thing we can do, right? Last year I got stuck. I had to work on a few things between Christmas and New Year's, and my wife took my kids down to St. George, and I was just kind of alone, and I had a day off in the middle of the week, and I was just kind of like, oh man, I should be with my kids. And I decided to go skiing by myself. Went up to Deer Valley. And at first I was like, oh, it's just going to make me sad to be up there all by myself and see other parents with their kids. But I made myself do it. And I'm walking, through the parking lot, and I'm watching, and I saw a dad like struggling to get all his kids' gear on. And I was like, oh, you know what? I park and I'm on the hill in 5 minutes. Maybe it's not so bad to be up here by myself,
In the schools, what do you do if a teacher or a counselor or someone, even another fellow student, notices that an individual is really struggling, having a hard time with the holiday season, and maybe just doesn't want to talk about it, or is starting to isolate themselves? What can they do to help that individual?
I really appreciate you asking that, because there are so many things we can do. And we need to realize that our students need to understand we restate this to them again and again and again. Talk to somebody, talk to a counselor, tell an administrator, tell a teacher. There are tons and tons of resources that we have for them, and then we can help wrap our arms around those kids and get them what they need. There's sometimes an idea with our students that if I talk to somebody, they told me this really personal thing, and that's violating our trust. It really is the best thing we can do for those students. We also have it's the Safe UT. There's an app that our students, we push it out there all the time. Our counselors do the Safe UT app, where you can get on, you can make a report. So if you feel uncomfortable going directly to somebody, you say, hey, this isn't the school, this is the student, and then our administrators get a notification about that, and it can be an anonymous report. And we can circle back and follow up with that student. So we do have a lot of resources for our kids.
It's really good to hear. Dr. Belnap, if someone wants to get in touch with you about a wellness concern, or if they have some questions about student wellness within the district, what can they do?
I would love it if they contacted me. I would give my office number, but I'm really, really bad at getting to my voicemail. I'm just going to be honest. So I will give an email address. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
And I would love it if anybody could reach out to me. So my name is Ben Belnap. So it's B. My email address is B, as in for Ben, and then Belnap, BELNAP, @pcschools.us. Please reach out, and we've got staff that are ready and able to help out however we possibly can.
And you can head to the website as well and click on District Administration and find your email through that way.
Well, I guess you could do it that way too. Yes, that'd probably be a lot simpler than the way I just
Either way, as long as they know that you're open to be contacted, which is incredible.
Absolutely, absolutely welcome. We got great students here. We got a wonderful community, and we're so excited to be able to support them here in the schools.
Well, thanks so much, Dr. Belnap, for being here today. Definitely important topic, student wellness, and really appreciate how hard you're working to help our students here in Park City.
Well, thank you so much for making it such a priority to invite me on here to talk about it today. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, check out Park City School District. They are focusing on student wellness. If you have any questions for Dr. Belnap, be sure to reach out to him. Also, if you find someone struggling during this holiday season, it's really not uncommon to be triggered by Christmas carols, holiday lights. This can be a really hard time for individuals. So reach out to them, find help for them either through the school district if it's someone within the schools, or check out connectsummitcounty.org. They have lots of resources to help other individuals throughout what can be a very difficult time. All right, more coming up right after this. Stay tuned.